Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COD Zombies HQ, where we're in the headquarters talking about changes that are going to happen in the HQ right now and in the future. We've discovered a few things that makes me really excited about the evolving nature of the headquarters in COD World War II. This includes a possible standalone zombies headquarters, new kinds of supply drops, and my favorite, new layouts for the 1v1 pit. Let's get started. So, kicking things off with changes that you're going to notice right now. If you play on console, you should be starting to get into lobbies with other people in headquarters. This has been a feature that's always been there on PC. They recently activated this feature in Canada over the last week. They're now beginning to roll it out further into the USA. So you now should be able to see a populated headquarters. It's up to 48 players that can hop in this lobby. You can now do 1v1s with people that you don't 100% know. You can commend other people, getting extra social score by watching people open up supply drops. This feature is a long time coming. It should have been there from the beginning. It seems like the server issues are fixed. You can now get into a populated game. But a quick note, if you do hop into game today and you notice that you're still alone in the headquarters, don't worry. Like I said, they're rolling it out slowly, so it's bound to get activated in your server region very, very soon. November 21st, which is tomorrow at the date of this video going live, is going to be a huge day for Call of Duty World War II and for the headquarters, because that's a day COD points are scheduled to be added in-game. This will affect the headquarters because we assume at the actual Quartermaster station you will now be able to purchase rare supply drops and rare zombie supply drops using COD points. Also, a big reminder for anybody that purchased the digital edition of COD World War II, that's either the standard edition or the digital deluxe edition. Once COD points goes live, you'll have access to your 1,100 COD points that we assume will be available for you in your mail section to pick up. Now getting into the stuff that makes me really freaking excited. Have you guys ever wandered into your dossier and into your challenges and specifically looked at your challenges within the headquarters? You might have noticed that there is specifically one set of challenges that you have 0 completion for, and that is for the anti-aircraft event that is supposed to happen within the headquarters. We haven't seen this event yet because, as you know, there's been major server issues. They couldn't activate the public headquarters, putting additional stress on the servers, as we covered earlier in the video. That is now being resolved, so that now public headquarters is online across all the platforms, PC, Xbox One, and PS4. We can expect them to push the start button on the headquarters anti-aircraft event very, very soon. We can see a glimpse of what this event will look like. In the very first trailer they released for headquarters, we actually have a quick snippet of this. We can see some fighter aircraft engaged in a dogfight pretty low above the headquarters. We can also see that you're able to fire the flak guns that are scattered throughout the headquarters. There's 2 in the main spawn area of the HQ. There's also 1 by the beach side above the zombies cave, and there's also kind of a secret 4th one that's only able to be accessed by people who can get into the prestige overlook. It's a nice secret little bonus for people that have reached that level cap, because you know when this AA event starts, those anti-aircraft cannons are going to be in hot demand. But as there is only 3 anti-aircraft cannons that all players can access on the map, you might be asking, well, what are other players going to be doing during this event? The challenge gives us some indication, so it seems like there's going to be some care packages that will be dropping from the sky. It's the job of the rest of the players in the lobby to collect those care packages as quickly as possible. It's likely that they'll contain some kind of like flak guns score streak like we see in multiplayer. You can activate that to assist in your headquarters lobby's defense against the enemy aircraft that are attacking the HQ. Going back to the actual challenge, we can see that you actually gain progress in that challenge either by shooting down enemy aircraft with the AA guns or collecting care packages that fall from above during the air raid event. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I hope they pull the trigger on this really, really soon. I can't wait to actually have these events in headquarters. It's definitely gonna make it a little bit more interactive than, you know, kind of just walking around aimlessly, maybe throwing the secret balls on the map to your friends and back. And hey, headquarters being kind of a malleable platform, more of that we'll get into in just a second. Maybe they'll add a different event in the future to spice it up a bit. So getting into the next future change, if you've watched my 10 outside the map secrets in the headquarters video, if you haven't, links in the description or via annotation in the top right, you might have noted that near the end of the video we noted that there are no walls in the 1v1 pit on that version of the headquarters. At the time, we speculated that that might mean that they're able to change up the environment of that 1v1 pit, put walls in different positions, and kind of give us a different arena every maybe 2 months or so. Well, I'm very excited to say that there's actually been evidence of this found within the game. Putting up the first map layout here, I'm sure you guys recognize this. This is the current layout in the 1v1 pit of the headquarters. It's literally called Preview MP Old School, kind of referring to a classic, really small close quarters COD map. This is the second layout we have, which seems to consist of a kind of walled off center area with a few entrances, with 6 large objects sitting at the center to kind of reduce sight lines within that close quarters environment. This one's going to be especially fun, kind of tilted towards that close quarters action with like a shoddy or even a melee shovel fight or something like that. It's going to be sick. Our second 1v1 layout is really cool as well. It's got that central courtyard design, but it also has those 2 small rooms on the bottom left and upper right of the courtyard. This definitely seems to be styled in a very similar way to the first map, kind of focused on close quarters engagements within that central courtyard. I definitely think this is going to be another exciting layout that I just can't wait to try when they implement it in game. And the last layout that we found, which I think is the most unique of the bunch, is this one here, where you can kind of see the whole purpose of the map is kind of closing off that center of the map right down the middle, where there's going to be a central corridor running right down the middle, and there might even be on the very top and bottom of that central area maybe a stairway, so if you want to flank on that side, you don't have to go right through the middle of that central corridor. You can go around and try to flank your opponent from the other side. It also looks like they'll have a little bit of an extensive line of cover right before that central corridor to kind of protect against spawn killing. By the way, in all these images you've seen, we're assuming that the area behind the spawn, where it's all filled in with green or blue, is going to be kind of sliced right off, right? And only that central area is the playable area, so it'll fit into the current boundaries of the 1v1 pit as we know it within the headquarters. We've got no real timetable as to when they'll actually rotate out the walls within the headquarters to introduce a new map design. Like I said, I'm hoping it'll be kind of every 2 or 3 months to keep that area fresh, keep players coming back and engaged within that 1v1 pit. You know that when players go down there and see that there's a new setup, you know that they're going to be more tempted to engage with their fellow players and actually enter a 1v1 duel. So hopefully that'll help fix a common problem I've seen people say, where, you know, the 1v1 pit is sometimes kind of empty in lobbies, even in full lobbies, where I've noticed that on PC. Next up is something that, me being a zombies focused channel, I am very excited about or very disappointed with, kind of in the middle, but we've actually found within the code of the game that right beside the central code for the headquarters map is this one, MP Hub Allies, which is the headquarters as we know it, zombie_HQ. This seems to be remnants of the standalone zombies headquarters that was cut late into the development of the game, or if you want to be optimistic, you can say that that's referencing something that they're building for the future in order to be released later down the game's life cycle of having its own individual, unique zombies headquarters. A player on the Xbox One might have unintentionally actually loaded into this kind of test map work in progress or scrapped version of the individual zombies headquarters. Here you can see he was in the menu, the game gave him an error on the Xbox One, and he was placed into this environment which says it's a headquarters, which all you can see is an FX objects placed right in front of him. The ground looks very similar to something that you see in the very first zombies map, the Final Reich, or even within this kind of background loading screen with the train in the zombies menu. So hopefully they're still working on it and they'll bring it to the game in the future. And we all knew it was bound to happen, but it seems like there are going to be new kinds of supply drops headed to COD World War II. There's going to be 3 new ones that we can identify so far. The first is the legendary supply drop, which looks like this, which we assume will give you 1 legendary item. The second is the epic supply drop, which looks like this, which we can assume again will give you 1 epic item. And lastly, and what seems to be the most valuable and the one you kind of want to get, is this one, which is the weapon supply drop, which definitely looks like the coolest of the bunch. And we can assume that'll give you 1 weapon variant. You've got to think that the weapon supply drop crate will probably be the hardest to obtain. We have no info on how we're actually able to get these crates in game or when they will be added. hopefully it's not just one of those things like you can only buy them with COD points, and we can actually earn them in game doing contracts or at the random crate that's given at the end of pretty much every multiplayer round. So hopefully there's other methods to earn these crates. It'll be nice having a little bit more variety, or having a guarantee that you'll actually get a weapon variant, which I think is the best thing to get in these crates. Well, that wraps up this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you learned something new, definitely drop a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I want to thank you very much for watching. I'm super excited to see the headquarters evolve as this game evolves. Hopefully, maybe even in the future, we'll get a totally different environment. Maybe somewhere a little bit more inland in France or in a different location as they decide to release themed DLC packs like they're doing with DLC 1, The Resistance. Until that time, I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you with another COD World War II video tomorrow. Peace out.